And in sports, boxer Dale Samuel has boasted on defeating Francis Miayusho. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Nasma Mwambe. Let's get started with the national news. President of Zanzibar and the chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has announced his council of 12 ministries, while openly stating that he is ready for national government, and it is that ACT was the lender party who have not responded to his call to form the government according to the constitution.
Badala ya kuwa na mawaziri watatu kama mwanzo, sasa ofisi ya rais itakuwa na mawaziri wanne.
Instead of having 3 ministers like it was in the past, now the president's office will have 4 ministers. First, we will have a minister, the president's office, in charge of economy and investment. We want to ensure that the private sector is given preference. The second minister, President's Office, Regional Administration and Special SMZ departments. The third will be the Minister, President's Office, Constitution Law, Service and Good Governance.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Simon Siro, has said that the general election held on October 27th and 28th this year went well despite the presence of various challenges which the force is working on.
Kwa hiyo ni wazi kwamba baadhi ya viongozi wa vyama vya siasa hawakuwa wanataka uchaguzi ufanyike. Lakini pia unataka kushika dola, unaandaa mabomu na vijana kwa ajili ya kuleta vurugu, kwa ajili ya kuharibu majengo, kwa ajili ya kuharibu visima mafuta. Unapataje dola kwa namna hiyo? Huwezi kupata dola kwa kutumia mabomu.
Kwanza kabisa ningependa nitoe shukrani kwa kazi nzito aliyofanya jeshi la polisi chini ya uongozi wa Kamanda Simon Siro. Haikuwa kazi rahisi, lakini tunashukuru kwa miezi mitatu ya mchakato huu wa uchaguzi uliofanyika mwaka huu umeweza kwenda salama.
The Bank of Tanzania has taken over and placed under statutory administration the China Commercial Bank Limited due to the bank's failure to meet the regulatory requirements regarding to capital adequacy. The China Commercial Bank will not be open for a period of not exceeding 90 days as BOT determines an appropriate resolution option.
Benki Kuu imesimamisha bodi ya wakurugenzi wa China Commercial Bank.
BOT has suspended management board of China Commercial Bank and has also suspended China Commercial Bank management and nominated a supervisor. In days not more than 90, he will monitor the bank and see the best way to transform and run it.
The government in Arusha region has begun an operation to deal with those involved in price hikes of cement, with agents of the commodity denying involvement in the increase in prices.
Viwanda vinazalisha saruji, vinauza kwa bei ya chini kabisa.
Factories produce cement selling at a very low price, and big agents throughout our region sell at a low price. But the challenge comes from retailers who will not allow people to suffer because of greed from a few business owners who have hiked the price.
Naomba wasishie kusema tu, wahakikishe kabisa wanafuatilia.
They must make a follow-up on this.
Viongozi wa chini,
wadogo kwa wilaya, madiwani, bila kulisimamia hili.
If this matter is not brought under control, the price on cement will remain.
The National Kiswahili Council, BAKITA, has awarded a certificate of competency in Swahili to the Polish ambassador to Tanzania, Kishi Stolfu, who passed the council's advanced level Kiswahili exam after 3 years of learning.
Pongezwa sana kwa sababu hakuna takwa la kisheria lililomtaka kufanya hivyo, lakini kwa mapenzi yake akaamua kujifunza. Kwa hivyo ni juhudi binafsi na ni juhudi kubwa sana. Miaka ya nyuma kidogo kulikuwa na utaratibu wa kufanya mtihani huo mwepesi, lakini kadiri miaka ilivyoenda swala hilo likatoweka.
Nilikuwa na mwalimu mzuri sana na ninafikiri ni kitu muhimu kuliko wote kupata mwalimu mzuri. Kwa sababu kwangu kujifunza Kiswahili ilikuwa kitu cha kujifunza tu, lakini pia kitu cha kuburudika sana.
Collaborators of development of the Rural Energy Agency, REA, Norway and Sweden have expressed satisfaction with the implementation of the Rural Energy Distribution Plan for some villages of Arusha region that are benefiting from the project.
Lakini pia tunashukuru na tunafurahi tukiona kwamba wananchi wanaweza kutumia fursa hii ya umeme.
Today we've seen the Maasai community use electricity in various activities such as milk processing.
Kiangalia kuna vijiji ambavyo ulikuwa ukienda zamani.
When you go to villages that now have electricity, there is a lot of development.
Vitu kama seal, vitu kama sijui vitu gani. Hivi havipaswi kuwa ni tatizo ambalo watu wanakaa miezi mitatu, miezi minne hawapati huduma.
We must show that we are working hard and not have issues which are stopping our people from having access to electricity.
More than 476 girls of Kilolo Secondary School, Iringa region, have received cloth sanitary pads that are produced by non-government organization housed in Njombe region that can be used for 3 consecutive years.
Changamoto ni kubwa kwa sababu kwanza
girls use traditional methods which could be a health hazard, some choosing to stay at home or go into hiding.
Hawajavunja ungo jinsi gani ya kujistiri na kujikinga.
We teach them about menstrual health and we've taught them on what to do when faced with sexual cruelty.
Kuna watoto wengi wanakutana na nini? Na ujauzito.
A lot of girls have fallen pregnant. When you ask them why, they tell you that they were raped. This means that as parents, we are not close to our children.
Nilikuwa naenda mnadani.
Kiangalia wampewa hizi.
The sanitary towels will help them to be free all the time.
And that is the end of the national news. International news comes next after the break. And in international news, the United Nations and the U.S. Embassy in Uganda have called on President Yoweri Museveni's government to respect democracy and human rights in the country. The call comes after 3 people were killed and several others injured in demonstrations demanding the release of presidential candidate pop star Bobi Wine.
Peacefully, any excessive use.
Police, we are not going to allow you to harass the people of Uganda. I want to assure you this.
UK's Defence Secretary Ben Wallace said that the United Kingdom will likely follow the United States in reducing troops in Afghanistan, but it will continue to work with its government and the US to protect the country's security. The announcement comes as there has been an increase in violence, with the Taliban continuing to carry out attacks targeting government leaders, security forces and civilians. Tanzania's ambassador in Kenya, Dr. Stephen Simbachawene, has met and held talks on trade and bilateral relations with the Australian ambassador for Tanzania, Dr. Christian Fellner, on how to strengthen trade and diplomatic ties between the two countries.
Austria and different African countries have very good relations. We do not have a strong but a very specialized development cooperation. Myself, I'm coming from the area of development cooperation, and it's now my 14th year in different African countries. I really appreciate that Tanzania is a very peaceful country. In this region, it is easier for our business community to find routes, to find partners, to have the possibility to work on a long-term basis. Austrian business relations are, in principle, always trying to go into long-term relationships. We are not so much interested in a quick sale of something.
And that is the end of international news. Business news comes next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
And in business news, the National Environment Management Council (NEMC) has banned the production and use of plastic bags that do not meet the requirements set by Tanzania Bureau of Standards (TBS) and warned that legal action will be taken against those found to be doing so.
Vinazalishwa kwa wingi sana.
It is prohibited to manufacture, sell, and distribute inside and outside the country plastic bags. From now, we don't want to see water products packaged in plastic wrapping.
Farmers from Lake Zone regions and other stakeholders participating in the agroforestry fair at the Agriculture Training Center at Bweri area in Musoma Municipal Mara region have called on the government to create an agroforestry policy which will enable the country to attain food security and increase national income.
Jana vile vile tumekuwa na kampeni.
We've been running a campaign on agroforestry, which would have been at the forefront of the national agriculture policy, which is effective in combating climate change.
Kutokana na mahindi ya njano ambayo tunahamasisha watu walime.
Concerning the cultivation of yellow maize, seed availability is not an issue because there are companies that we are working with who are helping us to get the seeds.
Tunapata mbegu bora kwa mujibu wa wale wafanyabiashara wanaohitaji.
We will get good seeds, and the Ministry of Agriculture will make sure that the yellow maize seeds get to every farmer who would like to produce yellow maize.
Designers who make various products from leather, such as shoes and handbags in Manyara region, have urged the government to ensure modern technology is installed in industries in order to be more productive and competitive in the local and foreign markets.
The challenge is on getting the machine for stitching. Once this has been resolved, then we will increase production.
Ili tuweze kuongeza uzalishaji mwingi.
Jana ni kwamba wapambanie fursa kwa sababu
the youths should grab opportunities. You cannot stay idle when you have a pair of hands and legs.
And that is the end of business news. Sports comes next after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters.
Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lind.
And in sports, boxer Dale Samuel has boasted of defeating Francis Miayusho when they faced each other in the Night Championship about this Saturday.
Ndio namheshimu brother mkongwe, lakini ngumi hazina ukongwe. Ngumi hazina mwenyewe, ngumi mwenyewe mazoezi.
He has experience, but experience alone doesn't matter in boxing. What matters is training. The last time I fought was in August last year. It wasn't a good fight. I lost by a technical knockout.
Anton Edwards pays tribute to his mother and grandmother as he was drafted #1 in the NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Here's more of the story.
Tears flowed freely for players last night when their long-awaited, months-delayed NBA dreams were finally realized. Edwards was taken by the Minnesota Timberwolves with the #1 pick in the NBA draft delayed multiple times because of the coronavirus pandemic. Commissioner Adam Silver announced the pick from ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. The draft was originally scheduled for 25th of June before multiple delays caused by the virus pushed it back out of its usual home at Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
The Premier League has begun moves to come in from the cold and allow the use of 5 substitutes in its match. Here are more details.
The English top flight is the only major competition in Europe to limit substitutes to 3, following FIFA's decision to extend an emergency rule that allowed for extra replacements after the return from the first lockdown. The EFL had been another outlier, but on Wednesday decided to join with the rest of the continent and agree to an expanded bench. The changes will come into effect from Friday. Premier League clubs have twice voted against increasing from 3 substitutes, with the majority of them believing such a change would benefit only the richer sides. But at a meeting with league executives, top flight managers are believed to have expressed a collective view different from those of their clubs.
Olivier Giroud is ready to consider offers to leave Chelsea in January to secure a greater playing team in the build-up to the European Championship.
The striker has not started a Premier League or Champions League match this season, with his 1 start in 6 appearances coming in the Carabao Cup. Although that contrasts with 8 appearances for France and 5 goals, including 2 against Sweden on Tuesday, he has been advised by Didier Deschamps to move unless his situation changes, with the summer's Euro finals in mind. Giroud's preferred destinations will be another Premier League club or a team in Italy. Lazio are no longer an option, but Internazionale are monitoring the 34-year-old situation.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. Thank you for watching and good night.
Karen, tell us how has it been going at this year's festival?
Well, the turnout, Vanessa, is amazing as it is.
Thomas, hello.
Nice to be there with you.
What is the purpose of this meeting and who will be in attendance?
Talking about how African countries can stop relying to a large extent on...
We are definitely seeing a lot of deeply political films, either directly treating a political issue or with a political subtext.
Don't miss the live special report between Capital Television and Dashwell Television at 9:30 p.m.
You can watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
Furaha ya mmea ni kuona ukiwa hai kwa rangi yake maridhawa ya kijani. Rangi hii ya kijani humaanisha uhai, ndio maana wanadamu tunapata oksijeni safi kutoka kwa mimea. Inaaminika mwanadamu anapoona mmea wowote, kuanzia miti, majani, mboga mboga au hata maua, hupata hisia ya kuwa hai. Katika aina zote za mimea, maua ni kitu ambacho huleta furaha, utulivu na bashasha pindi unapoyaona kutokana na uzuri wake. Uzuri wa maua hutokana na rangi yake, harufu yake, umbo lake na hata tabia zake. Hata hivyo, asilimia kubwa ya watu hupenda maua aidha kwa rangi yake na harufu yake.
Napenda maua sababu ni kitu ambacho nilikuwa napenda tokea nikiwa mdogo nasoma. Maua napenda kuyaona mazingira yote tuseme. Napenda kuyaona mazingira yote hususani nyumbani.
Nimekuwa nikiyapenda maua toka nikiwa mdogo. Nadhani wengi wanafahamu kwamba maua ukiyapenda ukiwa mdogo ni vizuri, hata ukikua pia utayapenda hivyo hivyo. Mimi nafurahia kuyaona yakiwa kwenye sehemu ambayo ni rafiki kwa jamii, kwa maana mazingira ambayo yanapendeza, sehemu ambazo wengi wanafika pale. Sehemu yoyote ile ambayo ina maua yamependeza, basi kwangu nafurahi tu pale ninapoyaona.
Uotaji wa maua hutokea mahali popote. Huenda yakajiotea tu au mara nyingi hupandwa na mwanadamu. Maua ambayo hujiotea yenyewe